Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome. It is I, Lucky, or as some people call me Seth. I have no idea why. Uh, how goes everything with everybody else? Today, I am starting, hopefully, a somewhat new series of doing MTG unboxings. Today, I do have a box of play boosters from Final Fantasy that came out June 13th, and we're just going to go ahead and start cracking them open and call it good. Uh, for those of you that don't know, I used to be pretty active on Twitch TV for a little while, and then unfortunately I had to take a step back due to work and mental reasons, so that's not exactly fun, but you know, it's what it is what it is. Let me adjust my light here so you get a little more light here for this. But half and half, I'm kind of back in the saddle for the most part. Still working on getting my setup done, but for now, we'll keep that to myself, and I'll explain that later. But let's get into this box, shall we? So this is the first actual sealed box of Final Fantasy that I have opened. I did open a few cards yesterday through my bundle box. I'll show those my notable pulls here in a little bit, but we're just going to go ahead and get right into it and load all these out. And we're just going to crack them one by one, see if we get anything good. Right now, the main hunt is going to be either Vivi, any of the other face commanders or lieutenants from the Final Fantasy decks, or just some, extremely good chase cards. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Opening up our first pack. I'm gonna let you guys know right now that I do tend to spout a lot and talk a lot, so I do apologize if that's not your style. You can mute the audio, watch the polls, whatever you want to do. Completely up to you. But for those of you that have taken part in this set before or have opened anything, let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. Starting off first pack, we got a Rook Turret, Aerith Rescue Mission, Blazing Bomb, Fight On, Kisal Green's Monk's Fist, Grand Pulse Ochu, Shantoto Tactician Magician, Ultros Obnoxious Octopus, Dragoon's Lance, X-Death Void Warlock, Jill Shiva's Dominant, and a foil item shopkeep with a basic land. Jill, if you don't know, is one of the Saga Elemental flip cards, the MDFC cards, that can flip over into a Saga that have some pretty nice effects. So, not a bad first pack, but there are a lot of better ones out there. But yeah, let me know what you think of Final Fantasy, if you have pulled any, if you plan on pulling any, and if not, then I can't really say that I fault you for that. But let's go ahead and get started on the second pack. Looks like we got a Cecil. Oh, nope, that's Edgar Master Machinist art card. And then we have Scorpion Sentinel, Summon Choco Mog, Item Shopkeep, Malboro, Bard's Bow, Adventurer's Airship, Laughing Mad, Memories of Nibelheim for a Stroke of Midnight Through the Ages. That's not a bad looking card. Rufus Shinra, Unexpected Request, Auron's Inspiration, Excalibur 2, okay, and a Blazing Bomb foil and Sharlayan, Nation of Scholars. So that, I think, marks the second Excalibur 2 I've pulled over the last couple of days. That was one of the other notable pulls out of the bundle box. Except now, instead of just having the one, we now have both the normal and the alternate art borderless. So I will take that. Third pack in. I also want to know, do you guys want to see more of these? Do you want to stop hearing my voice? Do you want to not hear my voice? How you want to do that? I don't know. It's completely up to you, but just feel free to let me know if you want me to do more of these later on down the road. If time and money allows, I will be more than happy to pull more packs for you guys. Good lord, I can't speak today. Can you tell it's my day off? Starting off with Angelo and a Dark Star token. We actually like that. We love the dogs here. Magic Damper, Cloudbound Moogle, GF Ifrit, Armin, Balam T-Rexor, Instant Ramen, nice little flavor common there. Magic Pot, Colosseum Behemoth, Giot King of the Dwarves, Poison the Waters, Coral Sword, Minwu, White Mage, and Summon Esper Ramu foil and a foil basic land to go along with it too. Boyle Basic Forest, that's not too bad. I actually kind of like that. But in case you're curious as to how I have my card, labeling my cards down here, I just have them set up a certain way that I like. Most of the rares I do end up keep putting in sleeves, and then I just like keeping the extras as close to me as I can, because I do plan on putting them into commander decks. Those of you who don't know, I am a very avid collector and player of MTG. Have been for quite a few years, and over time have gotten into this game a lot more than I thought I was gonna be. But you know, it's made me a few friends, and it's helped me get a lot more people along the way that actually play it a lot more. So maybe one of these days I'll get a group together and I can post some of my Commander games. Starting off, what is this? Pack number 4. I've lost count at this point. We're getting a nice little Sorceress's Schemes art card. And Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum. You're Not Alone. Light of Judgment. Sephiroth's Intervention, another nice flavor card. Gigantode. Crossroads Village. Laporit Scout. Choco Comet. Diamond Weapon, nice little uncommon, 8/8. Phoenix Down. Edgar King of Figaro, and we got our first crystal. Borderless Alt Art Wind Crystal. This is actually one of the ones I was hunting for. I need this for one of my decks that I actually run quite frequently. So we'll go ahead and sleeve that up and set that over here, because I'm going to use that. And then for the card behind it, it was Tifa's Limit Break, which is 1 green instant that has Somersault. You can pay 0 to give plus creature +2/+2 until end of turn. Meteor Strikes, 2 mana for double target creature's power and toughness until end of turn. And then Final Heaven, triple target creature's power and toughness until end of turn for 6 and 2 green. It's not a bad uncommon, especially if you're in green. That looks like it'll work pretty well for you, because green has a lot of ramp that you can use. We did end up pulling Edgar, King of Figaro. What is this? Edgar enters, draw a card for each artifact you control. 2 coin. First time you flip 1 more coins each turn, those coins come up heads and you win those flips. That's actually not too bad. It's a nice little card there. But yeah, I was going to ask you guys, how are you doing? How's everything going with you guys and your families? If you have any significant projects that you're working on, or what you happen to have lined up, I'd be more than happy to discuss a lot of other things if you want, as long as they don't completely break everything. But yeah, I love to talk, but for now I think I'm just going to shut up about some things, and I'm just going to start listing off what we got. Have a hero and a food token. Dreams of Laguna. Paladin's Arms. Sabo Tender, nice little red 2 mana 2/1. Cornered by Black Mages. Commune with Beavers. Blitzball, Iron Giant to the Crystal Tower, nice little cryptic command through the ages. Tonberry, another nice little flavor card. Zidane, Tantalus Thief, Sleep Magic, Leviathan Summon, and Call the Mountain Chocobo for the foil on there, and then another full art land. So far, these packs aren't looking too bad. I think a lot of the ones that I have managed to open themselves back up and basically given me some nice little flavor cards. I do like pulling the Cryptic Command. A lot of the arts for some of the Through the Ages cards just seem really, really nice. But yeah, I do apologize if my camera settings aren't exactly what I thought they were going to be. I am in the process of still setting up everything else here in the new home. And once I get everything fully optimized and ready to go, I can use this as the unboxing thing a little more. But now I'm just kind of making do with what I've got. But once I figure everything else out, I think we'll be all set. But if you guys have any tips, tricks, let me know. I will try to put them as best I can to use here. Hero token with a copy token on the back there. Blitzball Shot. Combat Tutorial. Magitech Infantry. Warrior's Sword. Resentful Revelation. Magic Pot. White Mage's Staff. Random Encounter. Another Magitech Armor. Dark Knight's Greatsword. Side quest, play Blitzball, and Zell Dinked with the Iron Giant foil in the back there. Zell is not too bad of a hit. I actually kind of like Zell as a card. Thinking I might use it in Standard. I am not sure, but we'll figure it out. Zell is a very interesting red mana card. Play an additional land on each of your turns. Gets +1/+0 for each land you control, and it bounces a land at the end of your turn, which is really, really nice. A lot of red decks and a lot of ramp decks are going to use that a lot, and probably abuse the heck out of it a lot. Starting off with a treasure and a hero token. Let's see what we got up here. We have Scorpion Sentinel, Summon Choco Mog, Item Shopkeep, Malboro, Bard's Bow, Heal Gigas, World Map, Relentless Axe ATM 092, Samurai's Katana, Restoration Magic, Emperor of Palamecia, and a Noctis, Prince of Lucis, and a foil fight-on with Vector Imperial Capital. Well, this makes the second Noctis that I've pulled out of my stuff. As you can see, I have another one right here. It's a pretty fun-looking card. It means I might actually make 2 decks of him now. I have plans to make one that is mostly a competitive environment deck for bracket 5 and higher. I do end up indulging a little bit here and there in CEDH gameplay, regular EDH gameplay. For those of you that don't know what that is, that's Elder Dragon Highlander or Commander format. And it is one of the more popular formats of Magic, aside from maybe Modern and Vintage. Vintage is where a lot of the older cards get used, and proxies are somewhat allowed. We have a Genova Ancient Calamity art card. But yeah, I do play a lot with friends and family for... Excuse me. Didn't really get a whole lot of sleep last night. We have Choco Kick, Dreams of Laguna, Paladin's Arms, Sabo Tender, Cornered by Black Mages, another Instant Ramen, which I'm going to put down here. White Orsite, looks like we got another Through the Ages cards. Captain Lannery Storm is Vaughn, Aspiring Sky Pirate. That's actually really nice Through the Ages card to have as well. Valkyrie Aerial Unit. Kina Kugormit. I apologize if I'm butchering names. I don't know them that well. Lionheart. Traveling Chocobo. And a Foiling Eject. It's not a serialized Chocobo, but it's still a Traveling Chocobo nonetheless. It's another little chase card from this set. Everybody's looking for the serialized borderless full art ones. I'm just going to go ahead and sleeve this one on up before I end up losing it. Bending it beyond compare. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play lands and cast bird spells. If a land or bird you control entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. For a 3-mana 3/2, that seems pretty nice. Wow, that is a really good hit to have this early in the box. Pardon me. The other thing I wanted to know from you guys is if you have played Final Fantasy before, what you think of it. What was your first Final Fantasy game, and what would you think about putting out? Excuse me, not putting out. What did you think? What did you think about your Final Fantasy game? Good Lord, I can't speak today. Can you tell? All right, Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum. You Are Not Alone. Light of Judgment. Sephiroth's Intervention. Gigantode. Sahagin. Kefka's Tower. Bolus's Citadel. Hello. Nice little another Through the Ages card. Titus. Blitzball Star. Phantom Train. Ring of the Lucie. A very... much as I like this artifact in the game, I'm not a fan of the card the way they did it. Fang. Fearless LCA. Squall, Seed Mercenary, and Lowport Scout with a far plane. Alright, well. That was also a very nice hit, because I actually needed another Bolus's Citadel for the Noctis deck. Now I don't have to take apart my other commander deck that I have to take apart. Which is really nice. I do apologize if you hear me breathing a lot harder than normal. Gonna get a little personal here, but I do suffer from a very significant genetic defect of having very horrible lungs. and it basically makes it harder for me to breathe. I am looking into ways to control that, however, which is really nice. Thanks to the advances in modern medicine and what have you for all that sort of stuff. So we're going to put this over here. That instant ramen's going to go right there. And already we are a third of the way through the box. By the way, if you are curious, yes, I am recording this on Streamlabs OBS. Let me know what you like and what you don't like, aside from my voice. I know that's probably going to be a given. Another hero copy token. But I do have my playlist on down here at the bottom left, as you can probably see it if it's there. And I'm listening to some RJ Pawson. Shout out to very talented guitarist. We have Commune with Beavers, Ice Flan, Coral, Call the Mountain Chocobo, Kutrub Forayer, Goobloo Gardener. Good lord. I again apologize if I'm butchering these names. A lot of them are new to me. Lunatic Pandora, Ignis, the man, the myth, the legend in Final Fantasy 15, The Final Days, Ether, Summon Esper, Ramu, Sephir Almasi, and a foil fire crystal for the rare backside of the pack. That, my friends, is already looking to be pretty good. For being a third of the way through the box, we've already had some pretty good looking hits and some really good commander pieces, especially now that this set's going to be in standard too, surprisingly enough. But enough about that. All right, we have a third of the pack, third of the box down. We're going to put you over here for now, Ignis. We're going to get started on the second, or making it 2/3 of the way through the box here. Starting off with a hero, Moogle token, and a land for the swamp. I'm going to switch up the way that I do these here, because I kind of got to go back and forth here. All right, we have Dragoon's Wyvern, Galacat, Suplex, the Phantom Train, Namazu Trader, Prisha's Wanderings, Adventure is in, nice little card to have out of this, Iron Giant, Adalbert Steiner, Cargo Ship, Fire Magic, Gaius Van Baelsar, Dion Bahamut, Dominant, and Lunatic Pandora. I haven't actually seen Dion. Hang on a second here. During your turn, Dion and Lunatic, you control flying, enters, create a 2/2 White Knight. Then you can pay 6 to exile it. Each other creature you control, those creatures gain flying until end of turn. For the first two, that's not bad. We're gonna put that in the sleeve, and I might be able to find a place for that actually, which is nice. Let's see here. Still curious to see if I can find any of the other good chase cards out of this. I am looking mainly for Sephiroth, and not the commander card Sephiroth, the one that gives the Blood Arst emblem. Alright, so starting off strong, we got a hero and a treasure token here. Weapons Vendor, Haste Magic, Shinra Reinforcements, Town Greeter, Ice Magic, Adventurer's Airship, Vane's Treachery, Prima Vista, Evil Reawakened, Reno a Heart Lily, which is also a really nice card, Card Collection, Zeldinked, and Omega Heartless Evolution as the back of the pack here for the foil. Omega Eaters for each opponent. Tap up to 1 target non-land permanent. Stun counters on each of those permanents, and you gain X line for X's number of non-basic lands you control. That doesn't seem like a bad card to run in Commander, actually. Granted, it does boast a pretty high mana cost of 7 mana. But for an 8/8 that lets you gain life for non-basic lands and stun stuff, that actually doesn't seem too bad. Alright. Still no Sephiroth yet. No borderless foil cards are the ones that I'm actually hunting for, especially not for the price ones. The very pricey ones. Alright, art card on the back is another lock. Put you there. Alright, we have Chichurn Merchant. Excuse me. Slash of Light. Red Mage's Rapier. Black Mage's Rod. Airship Crash. Vincent's Limit Break. Heal Gigas. Nature's Claim for Search for the Frozen Esper. Nice little another Through the Ages card there. Ilmag Pixie. Summon Fenrir. Overkill, another nice little flavor card. I got a Masamune and a Gigantode. Well, that one was a little lackluster, but still, we'll take the Masamune. Creature attacking it has first strike and must be blocked. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of that creature, of this creature or animal you control or own to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. I have a friend of mine I think that might be looking for that. Alright, now, shoot, we're just about halfway through the second pile here. I think we're burning right on through this here. We have a hero and a robot warrior token. That does not go there. It goes over there. Good lord, I can't even remember where I'm putting things anymore. Alright. Dwarven Castle Guard. Thunder Magic. Resentful Revelation. Blitzball Shot. Combat Tutorial. Laporit Scout. Blitzball. Queen Brawn. Gold Saucer. Cloud of Darkness. Side Quest Hunt the Mark. Nibelheim of Flame and a foil Namazu Trader. Nibelheim of Flame. Let's see. Choose target creature you control does damage equal to its power to each other creature. The spell was cast from a graveyard. Discard your hand and draw 4 cards. Well, that seems like it'd fit really well in a Sauron deck. More so than anything else Final Fantasy related. Mostly just because Sauron, the 7 mana... Whoop, throwing cards at myself over here while I can't speak. We got another bird token and a wizard. I also just realized the Chocobo bird tokens that we get are actually different art for each one. So we have this one and then we have a couple others that we've gotten so far. Which isn't too bad. Alright, retrieve the Esper. Fate of the Suncrist. Mysidian Elder. Hectize. Fat Chocobo has been found. It's going right down here with that. World Map. Ooh, Fatal Push. Battle at the Big Bridge. Nice, another Through the Ages card. Snowvilliers. Reach the Horizon. Eject. Borderless Art. Omega Heartless Evolution. Gilgamesh. Master at Arms and Realms Sketching. Gilgamesh Master at Arms enters or attacks top 6. Any number of equipment. Wow, this seems really nice to run in an equipment-based deck. Alright. Can't really complain. Maybe I'll have to make an equipment deck. In fact, I think I'm going to take the... dog meat precon from Fallout and put that into play. But we have hit our first Fat Chocobo of the evening, which I'm going to keep in a separate pile over there. Start on the other side here. Just because we're getting a little low on the other ones here. I personally probably will not buy a whole lot of Final Fantasy sealed after this. I might just go straight for the singles. We have another bird token, same art as last time. Maybe I was tripping on the bird art here. We have Airship Crash, Retrieve the Esper, Fate of the Suncrist, Raid Mage's Rapier, Black Mage's Rod. This is looking awfully familiar. Vincent's Limit Break, Wild Rose Rebellion for Counterspell. Nice. Chocobo Racetrack. That's really nice, too. What is that? Quistis Trepe? Sounds French. Ash, Princess of Dalmasca. And there's the second hit that I was looking for Aerith Gainsborough. And then with the very back, we have a You're Not Alone and a Zanarka, or Zanarkand Ancient Metropolis Borderless. So that makes 2 cards that I have been hunting for that I kind of want. Not too sure about Zanarkand. What is that? Create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token. Put a +1/+1 counter on it for each land you control for 4 and 2 green. Or you can tap it to enter to, let's see, pay for a green mana. That seems kind of weird for 6 mana adventure. Either way, though, Aerith Gainsborough hit is really nice. I know exactly where that's going. A lot of you have probably seen a lot of the other MTG YouTubers out here talking about the combo potentiality with Aerith and a lot of the other Final Fantasy cards. We have in the very back, we have a etched little stamped Y'shtola Knight's Blessing, Knight's Blessed art card. That's really nice. I might sleeve that up and keep that somewhere. Town Greeter, Ice Magic, Dwarven Castle Guard, Thunder Magic, Undercity Dire Rat, Adventurer's Airship, Vane's Treachery, Rydia, Summoner of the Mist. What is that? Nice little landfall deck. I'll keep that aside. I have a Jacked. Oops, I can get that off there. Esperanto Summon. Fat Chocobo, Borderless Found. And then we have Vaughn, Street Thief, and Cecil Dark Knight foil for the pack. Alright, that makes 2 Fat Chocobos so far. I'm not intentionally hunting the Fat Chocobo, I swear. Even though it is kind of funny. Borderless, or foil Cecil Dark Knight, Death Touch. Whenever it deals damage, you lose that much life. Less than or equal to half your starting life total. Transform it. Becomes Redeemed Paladin. Whenever it attacks other Kraken creatures, gain an indestructible until end of turn. That seems really nice. And I think I actually have a place for that. So we're going to sideload that up and set that over here with those. And call it good. Oh, I think that's the first one of those tokens I've actually found. We did just pull the 0/1 wizard token that gets generated from some of the red spells, along with a hero token. I think we're going to keep that right over there. Let's flip this on over. Alright, Prisha's Wanderings, Chichirn Merchant, I think I'm pronouncing that right again, Slash of Light, Mysidian Elder, Shinra Reinforcements, Iron Giant, World Map, Omega, Tifa's Limit Break, Gratia, and Louisoix's Sacrifice, and then Kane Traitorous Dragoon, along with a foil Mysidian Elder and a Ravnastire Royal City. A lot of people don't know how to pronounce this. I believe it's Louisoix's Sacrifice. Additional cost to cast this spell, sack a legendary creature, pay 2 mana, and it's good for, it's basically a stifle for 1 mana if you have a way to sacrifice something or pay the extra 2 mana. But in some cases, it might not be that good. And then Kane has flying as long as it's your turn. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player. Can I get the sleeve off of this? Oh no, it got stuck on the sticky stuff. Get off of there, you. It deals combat damage to a player. That player gains control of Kane. If they do, you draw that many cards, create that many tap treasure tokens, and then they lose, or then lose that much life. So all in all, not a bad payout if you can manage to buff up Kane a little bit more to get more damage and draw value off him, which is really cool. And then for the art card, Together Forever, I love the homage to the Final Fantasy games in here. Brings up another interesting question. What was your favorite Final Fantasy game? Was it set, like, which ones out of the series do you think was your favorite and the most favorite? And tell me why. Personally, for me, I can't really say much because the only one I've ever played was 15. That was my intro to the series itself, and I've wanted to play a couple of the other ones. I played, I think, 14 a little bit, but I didn't really get into it because of the fact that it was live service, and I just it couldn't grab me as well as some of the other stuff could. Blitzball Shot, Combat Tutorial, Magitech Infantry, Warrior's Sword, Resentful Revelation. I think I see a Through the Ages card in here. Chocobo Kick, Syncopate, nice little artwork there. We have Dovin's Veto for Shadowbringers. I know I can put that. Sandworm, Demon Wall, Summon Shiva, Firion Wild Rose Warrior, and Gisal Greens for the foil. Firion's another nice little commander piece for Voltron, like equipment-based commanders. Equipment you can, especially with some of the equipment that comes out of this set, given those little 1/1 tokens haste when you play most of them is actually really, really helpful because it lets you get in some more chip damage and it lets you just kind of kill off the token if you want to use it for something else or if you want to do something else with it. We have another Black Wizard. Yeah, there it is. There's the second bird art that we get. And then the Black Wizard that does the 1 damage, which is really cool. Fat Chocobo number 3 found. Sage's new list, one of the other equipment weapons in the game. Weapons vendor. Haste Magic. Hectize. Hill Gigas. Grand Pulse Ochu. Zac Fair. Nice little 1/1. I'm going to keep that there. Clash of the Icons. Elixir. Crystal Fragments. Esper Origins and a foil Lionheart. I'm going to actually keep the Lionheart over here with this. But Esper Origins is not a bad pickup either. You can turn that into a... Let's see. If it's a permanent, put it into your hand. +2/+2 and trample. That's not too bad. Excuse me. Again, good word. Apparently I am tired. Nice little flip sorcery that for 2 mana lets you flip it into a 4/4, which is really cool. Nice, clever way to filter your stuff out when you're playing, especially in a limited format. Looks like we have another wizard token here and another bird token, so I want to keep a lot of those. Might make a landfall deck out of it. We have Airship Crash, Retrieve the Esper, Fate of the Sun Christ, Red Mage's Rapier, Black Mage's Rod, Lunatic Pandora, Crossroads Village, Prima Vista, Queen Braun, Cloud of Darkness. Side Quest Catch a Fish, that's going in the pile of good cards that I want to keep. Matoya, Archon Elder, whenever you scry or surveil, draw a card. And then Black Waltz number 3 for the foil. I thought I saw another saga in here. Maybe not. Black Waltz number 3. Cast a non-creature spell, does number 3 to each opponent. Deals 2 damage to each opponent. That's not too bad in a burn deck. And then Matoya, Archon Elder. Whenever you scry or surveil, draw a card. That'd be nice in a little bit of a Spellslinger deck. I feel like, especially with Vivi. In fact, that's one of the other cards I was hunting for, is a Vivi Orno, however you want to call it. I don't remember the name, and again, I'm probably butchering it, but that's fine. I tend to butcher a lot of the names from the set. Emperor of Palamecia art card. Doesn't look too bad. Flip it on over for Gizal Greens. Magic Damper, Galicat, GF Ifrit, Ahriman, Laporit Scout, Vane's Treachery, Thief's Knife, Gladiolus Amicita, Shambling Sheath, Ultimecia Time Sorceress, and another card I was hunting for, Sarah Farron, with a Sabotender and a Full Art Forest in the back. Most of the lands in the set are Full Art anyways. But the Sarah Farron hit, it was a nice one. I actually have a couple of Tribal Legends decks that need this, so this is good for picking up one, and it does take a decent amount of hit off my wallet that I might have to make. Granted, a lot of the cards that we're getting now are starting to decrease in value now that the set itself is actually out and people are buying it up like crazy and opening things, so a lot of the value for some of the cards is going to be dropping. A lot of it's going to be going up for most of the more expensive cards. Looks like we have a bird and a hero token this time, and I think I see a saga card over there. Prisha's Wanderings, Chichiran Merchant, Slash of Light, Mysidian Elder, Shinra Reinforcements, Laughing Mad, Newfound Adventures for Farseek, Gold Saucer, Evil Reawakened, Delivery Moogle, Machinist Arsenal for the rare, and then a Dion Full Art Bahamut's Dominant. Good lord, I can't speak. I pulled one of these earlier in the pack. It's a nice little saga card that I think I can fit somewhere, but I'll have to figure that out when it comes time for it. So we'll go ahead and sleeve these up. The Machinist the Machinist Arsenal, though, is really nice. Giving a creature +2/+2 for each artifact you control. And then it's a 4-mana Machinist. I have a feeling Boros is going to like that a lot. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is pack number 7 left. So 7 left. Going to be going down to 6 once I open this one. I know it's crazy how I can do basic math, right? Especially when I can't speak too well. We have a treasure and a hero token. And then for the land, we have a Full Art Foil Mountain, which is really cool. Baalam T-Rexor, Dragoon's Wyvern, Cloudbound Moogle, Suplex, again, nice little flavor card. Namazu Trader, Adventurers Inn, Syncopate, again, nice little one. Reno and Rude, Rude, whatever his name is. Fire Magic, Snowvilliers. Side quest, Raise a Chocobo. And the Wandering Minstrel with a foil stuck in Summoner's Sanctum card at the back here. I did actually pull the Wandering Minstrel. I don't know if that's the promo card for buying or getting a bundle, but whatever it was pulled out of my... I've been pulling out of my bundle the other day, so... Not really going to complain about that. That's still a really decent card. A lot of the cards that are in this set just feel super, super heavy power creep. But nonetheless, it's still a fun, decent enough set to play, as long as you have people to play with at the end of the day. We have a Squall Seed Mercenary art card. That's for the borderless art. Nice little borderless Squall card. And then Fat Chocobo. Alright, we now have a full playset of Fat Chocobos just from this box alone. Sage's New Leaths, Weapons Vendor, Haste Magic, Hecked Eyes, Oricite, Report Scout, Lock Cole, Eden Seed of the Sanctum, Barrett Wallace, Summon Anima, Aether and Pridwin, Foil Prima Vista, and a Plains. Alright, well, this is definitely not one of the cards I was looking for. But if there's a way you can cheat this out, that'd be kind of nice in Commander. Especially if you can just make it to where somebody has base power and toughness X, where X is your life total, and then has an equip cost for 5. When I first looked at that card, I don't believe there was a way I could cheat that out into something to make it just be super duper broken, but I have a feeling there's a lot of equipment decks that are going to find a way to break that pretty quickly. We have an art card for Barrett. And for the land, we have a full art island. Looks like that's probably Leviathan Sea from 15. Alright, Dragoon's Wyvern, Galacat, Suplex, Namazu Trader, Precious Wanderings, White Mage's Staff, Crossroads Village. Ooh, Mizzix's Mastery for Dawn Warrior's Legacy. That's pretty nice. Travel the Overworld is a nice little blue draw spell card. Albed Savengers. Galef's Final Act. And Kuja, Genome Sorcerer. Ooh. I have not seen this one yet. Beginning of your end step, create a tapped 0/1 black wizard creature token with whenever you cast a non-creature spell. Token does 1 damage to each opponent. Then if you control 4 more wizards, transform Kuja into Trans Kuja Fate Defied. If wizard you control will deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage instead. Wow. That is nice. Seems like a wizard tribal deck type thing that you could do with him. Alright, 4 packs. Let's see, can I hit something that's really good in these last 4? All in all, though, I can't really complain. I have had my share of good boxes and bad boxes. This is no different. Hero Treasure Token. And then Gone Tower of Ruin. Alright, we have Rook Turret, Aerith Rescue Mission, nice little flavor card there. Blazing Bomb, Fight On, Giesel Greens, Vane's Treachery, Vane Carudus Solidor, also known as Finn the Fangbearer. Very nice little card to be having there. Judge Magister Gabaranth, Delivery Moogle, Garland Knight of Cornelia, and Zodiark the Umbral God, and a foil White Mage's Staff. Oh boy. Gosh, I'm running out of breath today. Again, that's what happens when you do nothing but talk. You guys are probably tired of hearing my voice by now, which I can't really blame you. But, nevertheless, I still like to give you the best experience I possibly can. Treasure token, and what's the... Oh, nope, can't do that. That will spoil the card that I get. Alright, hero there. Alright, Cheechard Merchant, Slash of Light, Red Mage's Rapier, Black Mage's Rod, another one of those, Airship Crash, Lunatic Pandora, White Oricite, Realm Sketching, Reno and Rude, Self-Destruct, Ride the Shupif, Jumbo Cactuar, and foil side quest, Raise a Chocobo. Oh boy. Alright, that makes the second Cactuar that I have managed to pull. And even though it's a funny card, I don't think I'm going to be using it very much. Unless I put it in a deck that involves specifically around flinging creatures. Alright, 2 packs. We're getting into the last pack magic part of the box here. Let's see if I can pull something that I actually would like. Hero and a copy token here. All in all, I still can't be disappointed. It's a nice little treat to myself. I don't usually buy packs too much. Magic Damper, Cloudbound Moogle, GF Ifrit, Ahriman, Blam T-Rex Zor, Syncopate, Blitzball, Prompto Argentum, Capital City, the Crystal's Chosen, Brynhildr Summon, Moogle's Valor, and a foil Rufus Shinra for the back card. Nice little Moogle's Valor and a summon for Brynhild. We will take that. Let's see. Each creature create a 1/2 white Moogle. One creature you control get hit a shark one on a turn for 5 mana. That's not too bad. Alright. Down to last pack magic. Let's see if the Chocobo gives us the luck today. Alright, we're going to open it front first so I don't see what's on the back there. We have, for last pack, Retrieve the Esper, Fate of the Suncrest, Mysidian Elder, Hecht Eyes, another Chocobo. Heck yeah, dude. Sage's Newless, Laughing Mad, Opera Love Song, the Poo Poo UFO, Black Waltz number 3, Side Quest Raise a Chocobo, Starting Town, nice little rare there, Red Mage's Rapier, Insomnia Crown City, and then for our art card, we got Ravenstein Royal City. Well, I think all in all, this is a pretty good haul. We did pull some pretty good stuff. Starting Town is probably one of the better ones. Let's see how many Chocobos we got. I think we got 5 fat Chocobos. The Chocobos have summoned each other. Oh, let's see here. We have a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fat Chocobos. Wow. I think I might have a way to finagle a deck around the fat Chocobos. But all in all, I can't really complain. This was a solid box. Had some solid cards to pull out of it that I'm definitely going to be using in some of my commander decks. I may or may not get some gameplay of those here in the future. But again, once I can figure out how everything works on here so I can make it work and not be as messy as it is, I will do so. In the meantime, though, I do appreciate y'all for joining me. Thanks so much for sticking around and watching my terrible luck get put into use here. I am going to clean this up, move along with my day. I hope y'all had a great day. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. I will see y'all next time. And let me know down in the comments what you think. If you want to see me do Final Fantasy or more Magic the Gathering unboxings or anything like that, or if you want to see something else, commander videos, gaming videos, just let me know, and I'll do my best to try and put it into action. All right, have a good night, guys. Hope you guys have a very fruitful day. Bye-bye.